Apple Vision Pro. So I'm sure you guys have heard of it and know what it is. It's Apple's augmented reality headset, and pre-orders started this past Friday, I think it was, and the sales were drastically lower than expected, according to initial reports. So this is unverified at the moment, but according to Computer World, which is a tech publication, Apple's Vision Pro sales reportedly plummeted from 1 million to just 150,000 units. And the result or the cause of this was apparently just the price tag, right? It's too high.
It's
So
really
it's 3,500 US dollars for the headset. And I think for certain applications, like the battery doesn't last very long. So you have to like kind of not go too far from a plug. And also there's rumors of competitors coming up soon, like Meta and LG, which are planning on releasing their own version of the reality headset for a drastically lower price. I think rumor has it that Meta will soon release a $200 reality headset, arguably with less features, but it's $200 versus $3,500. So basically a night and day difference. So I just wanted to get you guys' take on this. First of all, are you getting one? And why or why not? And second of all, how do you feel about VR versus AR as a product category? And do you think that the Apple Vision Pro will succeed, or will it just be kind of a footnote in history?
I can start.
Sure, go ahead.
It's way too expensive.
Extremely.
There's no way that it's going to get adopted. It is the cost of a used car. Like no one is going to buy this. The average person's not going to buy it.
So do you think that just because it's very expensive, do you think that this is kind of like a failure of this entire product category for Apple? Or do you think that if they were to refine this technology and come up with a cheaper one in the future, maybe they can like kind of save this game? Because the way I think about it is kind of maybe they're doing the Tesla model where, when the Tesla Roadster, the original Roadster came out, it was also very expensive and it was also very, shitty to put it frankly. Right. But look at Tesla's success now where they came up with newer models like the Model 3 and the Model Y, and it's gone pretty mass market, I would say. Right. So I think maybe you could argue that Apple's goal wasn't to create a product that will sell like hotcakes on day one. Maybe they just wanted to demonstrate what the technology was capable of. And then at a later point, introduce kind of a mass market product. And then that's when they'll take over the market. But this is kind of getting people used to the technology.
It's basically a giant beta test is what I think it is. It's called, hey, we have a product. It's not that good, probably. I haven't watched videos on how good it is or not good it is, but like Meta's been doing this a lot longer. I would be very surprised if it is significantly better than Meta's offerings. Especially for the price tag. Like even if it is really good, I can equip my entire family and then my neighbor's family and then my neighbor's family with Quest 2s and still be under the budget of just one of this device, like, so it's basically, they're just trying to get they're trying to do a bigger beta test with all the people who want to be on the cutting edge of stuff and who are really like Apple's the best.
But there's gonna be like people who want this like no matter what though.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're basically just getting the people who want to have Apple stuff and be like Apple's gonna be the best, So I think it's just basically a giant beta setting. And as Andy said, I think in the long run they will make something better and something that is more reasonably priced but this is basically like a proof of concept. It's kind of like Oculus's early offerings, which were very expensive and not very good.
I mean, that's the way it is though. Like there'll be like this new innovative or invention technology that'll come out. It's gonna be really, I'll say it, shit, but then they're gonna work over it over a few versions, and then that's the version that most people should get. So I guess for those people who really want it and want to pay for that price point, they're targeting them. They're going to get the short end of the stick because it's going to be bad inevitably. And then the people who do want it later on, maybe lower the prices, and then they'll be good. But Apple has power anyways. I feel like people are going to get it no matter what. It's just the way it is.
It's just going to be made obsolete really quick for the price, because Apple's going to release whatever there's version 2 of this like a year later, and it's going to probably be like 3 times better because of all the data they've got from this one.
100%.
So you're going to pay $3,500. They're probably going to come up with something that's like $1,500, and it's going to be 5 times better.
But people are going to buy the 3K one anyways. It's ridiculous, but it's really true.
So, but what do you guys think about the VR and AR as a product category? Do you think that there's a place in the future for products like these, if assuming that the price comes down and it's not $3,500, assuming that it's, I don't know, $1,000 or even cheaper? Do you think that, like, can you see yourself using one, and if so, for what purpose? Like, and do you think it's gonna eventually replace your phone or your home theater, or I don't know what kind of use case, or like your gaming console even, right? Like, what kind of use case do you guys see yourself, if at all, using these products for?
I don't think I would use it quite yet, just because of how expensive it is. Like, I see no purpose to it.
Assuming it's cheaper, assuming that, like, you can get one for $500 or even less.
Maybe, perhaps, but I think society is kind of like a herd mentality. So, for example, everyone used to have Blackberries back in the day, and like people were like, smartphone, like, what is this? Like, why are we gonna need it? And then slowly, one by one, people started to get smartphones as time progressed. It's probably going to be the same way, but people are afraid of like technology changes, but I guess it might happen if it becomes popular enough. Then, yeah, I guess the VR world will, like, VR AR is the saying, like, it'll eventually integrate, but too early to say, I guess.
I think, speaking as jumping in here, but speaking as someone who has been in VR, has had a VR headset since 2018. I've been in the space, like, using VR headsets for a while. I've used a couple, and they're not going to be replacing much of anything currently. Like, they're fun for their VR games, but VR has some very major problems, particularly with motion sickness, that I find very limiting for my use case, as well as that screen door effect is always really makes viewing like movies and stuff on it, it's not the best. So I think that they need to figure that out, and they need to do it in a way that keeps the costs low. And I know Oculus's stuff, which is already not super cheap, because like they were $400 when I bought my Quest 2. I think $450, I think it was, and that thing still has the screen door effect. It's a lot better, but even with that, I wouldn't want to watch a movie on it. So it's not going to replace that. And any game that's not a VR game, I'd rather play on anything else. So it's gonna have a tough time replacing anything until they get a lot better. And from the AR perspective, I can see there may be some utility with those somewhat, but I feel like with the size of the headsets currently, I wouldn't want to wear that thing all the time in order to get the probably like 5% benefit from it. So
yeah, and apparently it's also very heavy. That's like
it's a chunker.
Complaints that people have when they tried it, like, because they did some limited beta tests with like tech reviewers and stuff. I know MKBHD, Marcus Brownlee,
Mhm.
He went to go try it, and he's like, "This is great, but it's way too heavy."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I know when I was playing the Quest, whenever I play the Quest 2 a lot, I almost always stop either because I'm getting motion sick or my neck hurts. One of the two. So it's a it's a dice roll on which is going to give out first, my stomach or my neck. So um at that weight, like they basically need to get them down to like a pair of like glasses or maybe a like ski goggles,
Yeah. Right.
something like that light. And until they do that, no one's gonna wear them because it's just gonna be too uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'd be interested in like going to a VR arcade or something if they have these for rent, just to try it out. Because like you guys know, I'm an Apple fanboy. I have like Apple everything. I'm using a MacBook to record this podcast right now. But yeah, this is not something that I would buy because again of the price. I think this goes for a lot of people. But other than the price is also like, yeah, I guess the use case for me is not exactly too clear. It's just kind of cool for me. So I mean, I'd be totally down to rent it from like an arcade just for like an hour or something, just to try it out. But yeah, apparently it like the reviews have been really great other than the fact that it's $3,500 but and super heavy. But besides that, like people do say, it works like magic. The eye tracking is like pretty insane, and like typing is pretty crazy because you can just look at a letter and then it'll like pop up and then it'll confirm in like another like fraction of a second. So like you can literally just type with your eyes, which is insane. But yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's definitely an interesting product. And I think the price is really the limiting factor. I don't think I think that if it was $400, I think a lot of people would be jumping out of the woods to buy it. But at this price, it's not going to fly off the shelves. And as I said, with the having VR, one thing I did mention is you need a lot of space to have a good time playing VR
Mm.
for most games, or else you hit things.
Yeah, we
I
have a
have
housing crisis here in Canada. We can't afford that.
We can't afford the headset, and then we can't afford the space for the headset. Like I yeah, it's I punched over a TV once playing VR, so
Oh gosh.
it survived. But
Good.
I did Falcon punch it in the front and knock it over. So I'm just
You
saying,
did or you didn't?
I did. I hit it like I punched like this, and I hit the TV, and I had a beanbag chair behind it, and it fell and landed on the beanbag chair.
Oh, you got lucky.
Well, the beanbag chair was intentional, so I had put the beanbag chair with the possibility of it falling.
You foresaw the future.
So yeah, and clearly I did not have enough space to be playing VR in that room. And I feel like that room was a pretty typical size for a bedroom. So it's gonna be difficult to play a lot of VR games as it is,
Mhm.
especially when a lot of them involve moving quickly and oops, I'm punching at something. Oh, and I hit my TV, or I hit my monitor, or I hit my desk, and now my hand hurts. It's not really super ideal.